Thanks for tuning in to NSC Sports, sponsored by National Sports Chat. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's get to it.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Ken, and I just wanted to ask the question. This actual podcast would definitely be about, healthy dialogue and just posing the question. And I seen something very interesting with Michelle Beadle, and she talked a little bit about the NFL and their approach, as far as policy wise and stuff like that. And she made some valid points, and I just wanted to ask, some individuals that may be white or whatever, right? How they would feel if the shoe was on the other foot, right? And so, meaning that if you had somebody that was in an organization such as the Black Panthers, right? And they wrote a song, but the country mandated that song, would you feel that, or would you protest that song or not acknowledge the song, right? And the reason that I posed this question is because this is somewhat to that effect, far as black individuals, because you had someone who was a known racist, right, who wrote the song, the Star Spangled Banner, and it's a lot of individuals who caught on to that fact and then decided that they didn't want to no longer kneel for somebody who actually wrote a song that didn't even involve them or had any inclusion, right? Who didn't even want to include black individuals, right, at all. And so when you look at it from that perspective and you saying that, hey, now if the song was written for everybody within the country, then I would be fine with that. But it wasn't. It was only written for a certain demographic and a person who didn't like black individuals, right? And so another thing that she mentioned was that people are changing the narrative. And that's one thing that we always see is that when a cause is being brought up, right, it always being misconstrued or changed, or the direction and the dynamic of what was being said is always changed to lighten the severity and the importance of the issues that was brought up by a person like Colin Kaepernick. Now, what he said was he talked about the injustice of actual black individuals that suffer at the hands of police brutality. And he said that he wouldn't stand for that. And so as he was saying that, and then people started boycotting him, and the league didn't want to sign Colin Kaepernick because they felt that he wasn't a good enough quarterback, right? Which we kind of later finding out slowly that it was a lot of colluding going on. And the problem that he tried to address is just being brushed under the rug, to where people literally just want to say, yes, man, he's disrespecting the flag. This whole situation or incident is not about the flag. This incident is mainly about the injustice and the killings that black individuals are suffering at the hands of police. But the narrative continued to change. They're making it seem like he is actually disrespecting the veterans. People undermine the fact that it was a veteran who told him to kneel, and you can't sit there and say that he was intentionally disrespecting a veteran when he actually got his advice from a veteran. Now, as I recall, there was a actual combat for this very reason is for freedom of speech. And so you can't sit there and get mad that a person is, expressing themselves the way that, they see fit, and then he want to use the platform. See, sometimes when you feel that a person shouldn't be protesting or the platform that they trying to use isn't good enough, it's almost as if you're saying that the problem that is going on you don't care about. Because if something is going on, right, you actually want to address that issue if you actually care about the issue. But if you don't care, you don't want to hear it, and you're going to brush it under the rug, and that's what it kind of seems like. People basically said, you're talking about a problem that isn't happening, but it's only getting addressed when it affects a certain demographic. And it can't no longer be that way. You can't sit there and expect for someone to not address a problem when it's affects somebody, of their demographic, and it hits close to home. Here's a little brief clip of what Michelle Beadle had to say as far as the situation pertaining to the NFL policy. Take a listen.
All gets boggling to me. They just cannot see the forest for the trees. They continue to fuel the flames that come from a lot of the fan base that has completely convoluted what the original message was in the first place. Somehow, and by the way, if you're wondering what, Google Sterling Brown today, because there's a video that's coming out later today with Milwaukee Bucks Sterling Brown. That's the exact reason why these guys feel the way they feel and have every right to feel the way they feel. And now you're going to once again put the onus on the players, and like Jalen said, make them be responsible for a penalty for the entire team, because you don't want to open your minds, you don't want to listen, you want to pretend like you're having meetings and we're giving money to these causes and we're really here for you guys, we care. You don't care. And what you could do is get out in front of it and make the fans understand why this continues to happen, instead of turning it into a protest of the flag, of the troops, of this country. It's never been about any of those things, but they want to continue to just fan those flames, fan the flames, so the fans continue to talk out of their hiney's, and we are still here. I love this. Good, do this, and have all teams kneel, because what are you going to do, just keep giving penalties back and forth, back and forth? This is going to be a great start to a football game.
Okay, so like she said, what you gonna do is penalize, everybody that actually decide to kneel. The majority of the players are actually African American in the NFL. I'm sure that the majority of them not doing it for attention. I know the ones who aren't doing it, they are pretty much in a position to where they just trying to feed their family, and that's very understandable. But sometimes a life means more than $1, and you have to sit there and reevaluate or reassess just the humanity side of things, because a life you can never get back, but you can rip $1 and that money is made. So what Michelle did, I know she's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, but sometimes it takes someone like her to actually sit there and utter and make those statements, because a lot of times when people of African descent say things, it's almost as if you kind of race baiting and stuff like that. So I definitely commend her, because people like her will actually make things in this world a lot better. And so the other question that I had was, do you feel like implementing this policy is a violation of the Constitution, freedom of speech? Because you're free to say what you want. You should be free to say what you want without penalty, or without the the worry of actually being retaliated against in the case of Colin Kaepernick. I know some people, may disagree with the fact that Colin Kaepernick did it, but I have yet to hear anybody that disagrees with Colin Kaepernick to address the fact that the cause or the reasoning behind it being a logical one or non-logical, but this is the conversation that I believe that ain't going away. This is not the topic that I normally talk about, but I just felt like, with the fact that Michelle Beadle addressing the issue, that I thought it would be a great subject to kind of, just have a dialogue on to see how people feel and see if we can get people to kind of give their perspective on what they believe. But that's all I have for now. And you guys take care. Be blessed. Again, lend your support. Every subscriber is definitely important and is definitely appreciated in advance. And like I said, I would like to bring in content that most people are not talking about. And we just want to definitely keep it respectful to where everybody feel comfortable sharing their opinion without the scrutiny or basically being degraded, just for what they believe in. So whatever you believe, feel free to make the comment and just keep it respectful. With that being said, I'm out.